stop here. This is the place.
One of the things that I love is that two films idea of your life. And there's two stories you can tell. One that is safe and full of regret, and one that is risky and full of pride and joy. This place seems to be a stepping stone across that bridge that is so scary to walk across.
I want to just say first off that I really feel honored to be here. Duke and Molly and Piper, these people have become my family so easily and so quickly. Duke called me last year when Gian's wife was giving birth to her second child, to their second child, and Duke just said, "Allie, get on a flight tomorrow and show up," and I did, and I've gotten so much from this experience, and I feel really blessed to be back. I can't recall the first time I puked out my dinner, and I don't remember the moment where that self-deprecating thought entered my pure and young mind. I don't remember as a young girl where I just decided that I wasn't good enough, that I was unlovable, where I just started to sew myself up and kind of froze off my intuition and really lost my voice. But I do recall this moment where I forgave myself and what really was the gateway to my healing and ultimately my purpose. I was 20 years old, and I was lying on a yoga mat at the end of a yoga practice. And it was as though someone stabbed me in the stomach, and when the knife pulled out, there was this wave of energy, and I just heard, "I forgive you. I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you." And I forgave myself for the emotional, the physical, the mental abuse I had placed upon myself. I forgave myself for the physio tape holding my ribs in place just to get back out on that stage, the fake eyelashes glued to my tired eyes, and the chemicals lining my asthmatic and weak lungs. I decided at that night that I was going to quit my professional dance career, and I was going to teach yoga. And I approached teaching yoga the same way I approached becoming a professional dancer, which was to fake it and to mold and to really mold myself into the industry. So I bought all the flowy pants, and I wore the beads, and I stopped dyeing my hair. I stopped wearing makeup. I disguised my eating disorder. I was now a raw vegan, and really took that lifestyle on heavy. And no one asked me a lot of questions when I was always on a juice cleanse. And and it wasn't until my hair started falling out in chunks and I lost my period completely for 2 years and my eyes sunk back into my head that I realized, okay, maybe this isn't it either. Cue the dark night of the soul. The one thing yoga, the philosophy teaches us is that which is false falls away. So these identities were literally falling off of me. And I hit my knees, which some of us know is the perfect position to pray. And I asked like I have never asked anyone or anything before, what the fuck is it then if it's not those things? If it wasn't shaking my ass in music videos in Los Angeles, and if it wasn't just, batting my eyelashes and taking my hands to heart center, what was my purpose? And I heard it in a way that was so clear. It was crystallized, and it just said, go back to her. Go back and teach her these tools of yoga. Teach her how to breathe through her anxiety. Teach her how to move through her depression. Teach her that this body, this temple, this one precious vehicle was all you get in this one lifetime. How do you honor and how do you respect that? Nirvana, not just a popular 90s grunge band, is a Sanskrit word. It's commonly used in Buddhism as free from suffering. Girl Vana, yoga, was created in that evening. And I started to really heal myself through the teachings of going back and teaching young girls yoga. That was 5 years ago, almost to the date here. And I had a vision that I was going to bring teenage girls up to Galiano Island and lead yoga retreats teach them yoga and meditation, but have the really real and raw conversations that girls weren't getting. So speaking to them about consent, their bodies, their periods, sexuality, body image, what it means to actually love yourself, not just swallow a Pinterest quote and fall in love with yourself, but truly the art of staying in our bodies. And since then, it's grown. I've led over 8 yoga retreats for teenagers. I opened a studio with Jan and I. We run youth programs after school. I've licensed the work so that teachers from all over the world can come and learn the methodologies of Girlvana so they can go back to their own cities and lead and empower young women to find their voice. We've had thousands of girls through our programs, so looking programs not just in high schools, dance studios, eating disorder clinics, First Nations, youth at risk, you name it, we've been there. We've heard it all. And to now writing the book, I'm writing the Girlvana book this year, and it's an exciting thing to kind of put down into words and really give girls this sort of new technology, new tools to really help them grow. What I want to sort of give to you or maybe share with you is really what I've learned in this process of teaching young girls and hopefully shed some light on who we can be not only for our young girls and our next generation of our women, but really who we can be for each other. And number one is about creating safe space. I think these lessons are going to go hand in hand with what we're doing here tonight and this week at DO, is we create safe space by the way we look at one another in the eyes. The way we don't abandon our own bodies to jump into somebody else's experience, but you stay in your body, you breathe for yourself, you take care of you, and you stay curious about them. The other one is that in our rawness is the perfect place to connect. What the fuck else are we doing if we're not connecting from that place? Who are you meeting and getting to know if you are not in that raw place, real place to connect? And what we do know, and especially in this circumstance, is that by telling our story is really how we find our voice. It dissolves this veil of separation. If you're not talking about what's real for you, and we're just constantly looking at the highlight reel of our lives on Instagram, we're constantly feel like we're fucking it up. So be real about your experience. Because in our humanness really lies our brilliance. There's this brilliance that exists right in the pocket of where you are your most you. This is what the world needs, is for you to be you. And then lastly is just the art of staying. We have gotten really good as a society of crawling up and out of the experience of us. Grab your phone, social media addiction, grab the bottle. There's so many ways to get out, and the practice of yoga and meditation are always bringing us back in to weather what's going on inside of us and ultimately dispelling it, making space for who we could be, who we already are. I wanted to leave you just with a short video. It was a video that was filmed 2 weeks ago at the Girlvana retreat. The words are all words of the girls. My voice is not in there. You may see a few familiar faces in here. But this is really the core of what we do, and I think this video really says it best. So, thank you.
I was always questioning myself, saying, like, what's wrong? What's going on? Like, why do I feel this way?
I have a really big problem with just learning how to love myself. I guess I ask myself a lot if I'm good enough.
What does it mean to be alive?
I think those questions are needed, and they really helped me to open up.
The first time I took a class with Ali, she said, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to impress anyone. And I try and remind myself that while I'm doing yoga, and it's carried on with me throughout everything else in my life. We're hiking, and we're in mountains, and then we're swimming, and I've laughed more in this past week than I have in like the past few months for sure. It's just been the most magical thing ever.
I came here thinking that it was just gonna be like, you do yoga in the morning and then just like chill. I don't know. I didn't know that I would discover so much about myself.
The biggest thing I'll take away is that other people do care.
I felt like a different person here, like more happy, and I feel stronger and more comfortable in my own skin.
But I just have to accept what's going on, and I have to be okay with me and who I am, and just try to live to the fullest potential that life can give. And I think the most special part has been connecting with all these people.
I've met so many amazing women. They're not girls, they're women. So many amazing women that have just already changed my life.
I am me, and that's all I could be. That my face is my face, and my body is my body, and my thoughts are my thoughts, and definitely my mind is the most powerful. If I could change my mind, I could change my